Paid advertising does not work. And look, it's very, very likely that you've ran ads before, or maybe you are running ads right now. You've probably spent loads of money, seen zero results. Maybe you've hired in an agency to run the ads for you and still you've seen zero results. And you're probably just too scared at this point to even spend any more in ads because you just don't want to lose any more money. At least not before watching this video and learning the secrets to how everyone else is running them and making a ton of money in the process. So let's get started. Most people's experience with ads will be they spend $1,000, they generate 20 leads. With those 20 leads, that converts into 5 sales calls, and then that converts into $0. So they then go and look at that $1,000 spent and they say, hell no, I'm not running any more ads ever again. And then they go back to traditional methods like outbound email, or they go and try to create crappy content on Instagram, or they'll go and send messages on LinkedIn, or they'll just hope that one day their SEO finally kicks in and they start landing clients. Now, there are so many problems with this, and this video is about to explain why you are a fool if you are not running ads inside of your business. If you are here and your goal is here, there are many ways for you to reach this goal. You could be sending emails, you could be doing LinkedIn, you could be creating content, but the fastest way to get there is to run ads. The reason is ads is simply buying eyeballs. You are literally just buying attention and shortcutting your way to success. The reason why I like running ads is if I have an offer, I get to test this offer quickly. Because I run this YouTube channel, if I was to create a new offer and I was to say, okay, I'm going to go and make YouTube videos about this offer, I need to go and create 5 pieces of content talking about this new offer. That is a lot of work to, one, come up with the video ideas, create thumbnails, create a script, or even if you was doing this with outreach, you've got to go and send 10, 20, 30,000 emails just to test your offer. Well, with ads, you can just throw a little bit of money, maybe $100 into something, send them to the right place, and get to test your offer. And this is why ads are so powerful. Before you start anything, before you start any new offer, before you start to think, okay, this is what the market needs and this is what I'm going to go and start selling, this is what I'm going to design my entire website on, you can run a really low budget ad and actually test if it's even worth your time in the beginning. If you're getting good feedback and you're getting good click-through rate and you're getting people submit their lead information and you're getting people maybe even paying you money through these first initial ads, you know that you are on to a winner offer. Now, that is just one piece of it, and this is massively oversimplifying it. But if you do look at it and you break it down, ads are very, very simple. And what do I mean by simple? Well, what I mean by simple is they want to make it as easy as possible for you to actually start making money inside of the platform. It isn't that hard to set up. You really have 3 jobs. You have Pixel setup, which you can go and watch any YouTube video on. There's literally hundreds of them. You then have the content behind the ad. So what is the actual ad going to be? And then, of course, you have the targeting. Now, most of the time, this gets completely ignored. Most of the time, that's 90% of everyone's effort. And most of the time, this is literally like 10%. Okay? So the reality is it's simple because it's just these 3 moving parts. And all we need to do is just realign our focus here. So the way this should actually work is Pixel, like I said, is like 5% of your time. This is like the easiest thing to set up. So simple. Content is going to be 80%, and then targeting is going to be 15%. Now, some of you sat there right now and like, no way. You need to be spending more time targeting and working out what demographic is best, who to target. But the reality is some of our best performing ads right now inside of Unorthodox, our agency, have 0 demographic targeting. We're letting the algorithm do its thing. And this is because the ad platform is so mature now. It is so good at what it does. The algorithm is so good at what it does. It can actually take the demographic targeting from the content that you are creating. So you don't need to rely so heavily on the targeting side of things. Now, I don't want to get too deep down that rabbit hole, but most people are massively over complicating things. Okay. So realign that focus on the actual content, then on the targeting, then on the pixel. But make sure your pixel's set up before you do anything else, please. Now, on the content side of things, what I see a lot of people doing is they create one piece of content and then they throw that into $1,000 to spend and they cross their fingers, hope it works. And the reality is that piece of content flops because it's the first piece of content they've ever made and it doesn't really speak to their audience and it doesn't really make any sense and doesn't actually get people excited. It's usually hyper over processed. It's very unorganic. And as soon as someone sees it on the feed, it just screams ad in their face. Okay. So for me, Nice, simple ads where you pull your phone out, you speak to a main problem, you highlight a key problem within your target audience, you talk about their goals and what they're looking to achieve, and then you give them some kind of free value in exchange for their information on a opt-in page or straight to a VSL. But this is the biggest problem that I see. And this leads me on to the next part. You actually lack an offer in the first place that actually makes sense to run ads for. Let me explain this. So if you are selling social media marketing services, it's very likely that your offer is very different to the next 100 different marketing agencies. Now, there is a trick here and a secret that some of the best people online that are running digital agencies are using to get clients. They don't package their offer up in a social media marketing service. They don't even talk about social media marketing in the ads that they run. And this is what 99.9% of you are doing. You are leading with your offer. The reality is you need to find a unique way to package your offer up into something that looks new, easy, big, and safe. So a friend of mine, Ed Lawrence at Creator Booth, shout out Ed, taught me this system, and it's called the BENS system. This BENS system is essentially the backbone of anything exciting online. If you look at any good copywriting, you look at any good VSL, you look at any good YouTube videos, it's usually following some kind of system that looks a lot like the BENS system. Big, easy, new, safe. And when you start to look at all of your marketing through the lens of using this system, you start to realize that saying you're a social media marketing agency that sells social media marketing services is so boring. No wonder why your ad does not work. So what do we need to do? Well, we need to find a new way to package it up. In our case, we built the growth system. Now, we didn't just make this up. This growth system is actually the framework that we use to help our clients land more clients. Each letter of the growth system stands for something new. And in the ads that we produce, all we talk about is this growth system. We position it as something big, easy, new, and safe. It's big because of the problems that it solves. It's easy because we do it all for them within 30 days. It's new because no one has ever seen it before. Apologize for my writing. And then it's safe because we have results and we show them that this is what we are using. So now all of a sudden, our content has now gone from being a social media marketing agency, not that we are that, to now having this growth offer, and we are pushing this out in the content that we produce for our ads. So we've brought forward this unique system that we have inside of our business that we sell to our clients, and now this is the front of our business when it comes to running ads. So that's one part. You're never going to make ads work if you are talking about the same stuff as everyone else. You can literally go on my account, see the ads that we're running, and you'll get an idea of exactly our message there. But the next step is most people don't have the systems in place to actually run the ads. Most people with $1,000 to spend will send them to a big website with really poorly written headlines, and this website goes on and on and on, and it talks about all the different services that you offer, your about us page, your contact us page, your FAQs. And what ends up happening is throughout this process, the eyeballs just disappear. They get bored, right? It doesn't work. So there's no specific landing pages. It's all a generic website where you're just pumping traffic into, hoping that they book in for a call. And what we really need to do is we need to have a system where our ads are here. We then send people to an opt-in where they submit their lead info, right? We capture their lead information. We then own that lead, by the way, right? And on average, you're looking to spend probably around $5 to $10 for a opt-in. So someone who's actually giving you their phone number or their email that you can then remarket to. From that opt-in, they then move into a landing page. Show our VSL. This is our sales letter, okay? This is where we are talking about what we actually do and how we help our clients. Now, obviously, these two are very closely related. This is usually a guide of some sort to get access to our growth system. And this is a video on me explaining the actual growth system and showing them what it can do and how it works, some of the results we've achieved. From here, if they've watched the VSL, we're then selling a book a call. So that next step is they then go in and book a call from us. We're not trying to make money here. We're not trying to make money here. We're not even trying to make money here. We just want to get them in for a call. We want to qualify if they're actually going to be a good client for us. So during this process, there's some qualification as well. And once we've got them on a call, we have the sales call. And then once we've had a sales call, we actually turn them into a client. Now, this is literally the simplest form of a funnel. This is very, very easy to do and very simple to set up and run, but most people are missing this. And if you don't have this system in place and you're just running it to a generic website, if you're running it to a big website, even with loads of different pages where they can get distracted and click off, your ads are not going to work as well. For example, if I know that if we run a VSL ad, we will pay around $100 for a booked call. And like I said, we will pay around $5 to $10 for an opt-in. Now, some of these opt-ins will actually go on to book a call because that part of the funnel sends them to that VSL page. But we run both of these types of ads and we will spend a few thousand per month to generate a ton of leads. And it works. And we fill our calendar all of the time because we have this system in place. Now, this isn't the only thing. There is another major component here that allows this to make sense. If we know that we're spending $100 on a call, or if we're only charging $1,500 for our services, then our margins are pretty tight. It's going to be very hard for us to actually make money with ads here. And this is another thing that I see all of the time. People charging around $1,000 for their services. They then go to ads and they start charging and they start putting in $1,000 per month. Now, from those ads, they send them to a crappy website with no real landing page or funnel or good VSO in place. And what ends up happening is they will pay, let's be conservative, let's be nice. Let's say they are booking calls for $100. Well, their margin, by the way, might only be 60%. With service delivery, with a number that small, it is going to be pretty low. There are costs involved to delivering for your clients. So they're spending $1,000, they're making $1,000 per client, and then they are paying $100 per book call. Okay. So with $1,000 spend, they're booking 10 calls. There's no real system in place. There's no automations or follow-ups to make sure that people actually show up for those calls. So let's say 6 people show up to these calls, 4 people no-show. So 4 no-shows. A good close rate is around 20%. So 0.6, that's 1.2 clients per month. So you are making $1,000 on this ad and you're spending $1,000. So that means you are at a loss if you're running at 60% of $400. You've just lost money on your ads. If you are good at actually keeping that client, and let's say they stay for 3 months, then it starts to make sense. But chances are you don't even know these numbers. But chances are you're not booking a call for $100 because your pages suck and you don't have a sales system in place. Chances are you're not closing at 20% because you don't really know what you're offering and you're probably offering a commodity. So this number just doesn't make any sense. It makes no sense for you to be running ads because you're just pushing traffic through a system that isn't set up right and doesn't work. Now, for us, what do we charge? Well, we know that on average, we'll charge around $15,000 to do the work that we do. That means that we can afford to spend much higher on ads to acquire a client. Now, we know that, to be honest, on average, we're actually getting book calls for around $80. And the no-show rate of that is actually like 20% because of the AI that we use that reaches out to these leads as soon as we get them and as soon as they book in for a call. Our no-show rate is super low because of the systems that we have. So 3,000 divided by 80 is going to be 37 calls booked in with a no-show rate of 20%. So that means around 7 people no-show. So we have 30 book calls. Now we don't close people at 20% here. We actually only work with around 5 clients per month on this. So we know that, let's say on average, we close at 10% on this offer. Well, 10% is 3 clients times 15K, which means that we've just spent 3K to make 45K. And because we know these numbers and because we have these systems in place and we're tracking the data that's coming through it, ads start to make sense. The only thing that we now need to do is constantly come up with new ad creative to try to get this cost down and pique more interest so people book in for these calls. So what we now have is we now have ads that we can just keep putting more and more and more money in to get more people booking in for calls. And this is all anyone is doing online. If you're sat there and you're looking at people thinking, how the hell are they making 500 or $1 million a month? And look, you're probably sat there going, well, look, Liam, I don't have a YouTube channel. It doesn't work as easy for me. But I promise you now, these people that were booking in from our ads do not know me. They've never seen me on YouTube. Yes, it helps build trust and social proof. But I promise you now, I've been to so many masterminds where there's 10, 15 business owners that are all doing 200, 300, 500K plus per month, all in the same room talking about the same thing. And none of them are on YouTube. And all they do is they run ads. Some of them are spending hundreds of thousands of dollars per month, but they know that they have this ads machine that they can just keep putting money into because they've got the offer right, they've got the packaging right, they're focused on creating the content for the ads, they've got the systems in place to manage the leads, and they've got the numbers down. They know what they can spend and what they can afford to get away with. And this is the biggest problem that I see everyone facing when it comes to running ads. So if you're sat there thinking ads don't work, you are very, very wrong. This is by far one of the easiest ways to build a business, providing you get all of these things correct and you spend time on the right things. We are just scratching the surface in Unorthodox. I've probably spent around £1.1 million in my entire life on ads, and that number I'm looking to double very, very soon because of the power of how many eyes it can get you in front of and how much business it can bring you. So guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Catch you later. Bye-bye.